Hello, and welcome to another episode of Talk While Gaming. I am the Casual Gamer. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Please don't forget to click the thumbs up and leave a comment in the section below if you would like to hear more stories. Now, before I begin this episode, let me ask you all something.
Question 1.
Have you ever been bullied in school by anyone before?
Question 2.
Have you ever bullied anyone? Well, let me tell you a story that involved me, a bully, the police, and karma. It was the start of my 8th grade year in middle school, and I was just entering the cafeteria. My school had a cafeteria seating chart, and the table that you are placed at will be your designated seat for the remainder of the school year. Sadly, the spot that I was placed at would eventually lead me to my school bully. Let's call him Don. Don and I did not know each other, and I have not done anything wrong to him. However, he intended to make my days difficult. On some days, he would pull my chair out from under me and laugh as I fell to the floor. On other days, he would fling his food at me. After weeks of being bullied, I was getting annoyed by him. Some of you may be wondering if I have ever told anyone if I was being bullied at school at the time. And the answer is
No.
you see, I was afraid because I wasn't sure if telling anyone or fighting Don was the best course of action. I was an 8th grader, and this experience was new to me. So I kept the issue to myself and went on with my business. In life, every decision you make will result in consequence or reward. Sometimes a person will make a decision based upon the circumstances or forced events. The reason I say this is because this particular situation had led me to an interesting development. It happened on a Friday afternoon, and school was being let out for the day. I was about to walk towards the school office until I saw Don walking right beside me. He sneezed on the palm of his hand, and then he wiped his hand on the side of my face. I was furious, and I had enough of his nonsense. In a fit of rage, I threw my backpack onto the ground and I was getting ready to fight him. He was in his fighting stance and I was in mine. Now, keep in mind that he was probably a few inches taller than me, and he may have been in a few fights before. I didn't care. I was angry and I needed to stand my ground. However, I stopped myself before I fought him. I don't know what came over me, but that's what happened. Surprisingly, he didn't move. Instead, I sternly said to him,
I'll let someone else take care of you.
after that, I picked up my backpack and I left him alone. He didn't say anything, and I kept walking away from him. Before I continue with this story, I just want to remind the younger viewers who are listening that I do not condone fighting in school or harming another person. If you are being harassed or placed in a troubling situation, I strongly urge you to think and consider your options before the issue escalates. Secondly, I recommend that you seek out help from your school administrator, a teacher, or a person of authority. Save the fighting for when you are playing fighting video games and the professionals who do get paid for it, such as wrestlers, boxers, and mixed martial artists.
Now on with the story.
Everything changed within the following week of school. It was the start of the second period, and everyone was in class. After the first 5 to 10 minutes of class, an announcement was made on the intercom.
At this time, we would like for all students, teachers, faculty, and all personnel to be in their respective areas at this time. Please keep your doors closed and locked until further notice. I repeat, all students, teachers, faculty, and all personnel, please be in your respective areas at this time. Keep your doors closed and locked until further notice. Thank you.
Everyone in my class was asking the teacher what was going on and if he knew anything. He did not. So we waited. As the class continued, one of the students thought that they have heard a dog barking in the hallway. Some of us did not think nothing of it. 30 to 45 minutes had passed. Then the school received another announcement.
Thank you for your cooperation. At this time, everyone in the building can resume as normal. Again, thank you for your cooperation.
Later in the afternoon, I entered the cafeteria for lunch. I was dreading that I would see Don, but to my surprise, he wasn't there. I didn't bother asking what had happened to him, and I continued with the rest of my day. Throughout the whole week, rumors and gossip were spreading throughout the school. I kept to myself as I had listened to the bits and pieces of it. From what I could gather, the story was that there was some students who were smuggling certain materials that were not allowed on school grounds. The police were called in to investigate and see if these materials were inside the school building. The K-9 unit were called in and was given the task to check each locker for evidence. After their investigation, they had found what they were looking for. Also, the students who were involved in the ordeal were dealt with. Now, I don't know if Don was involved in the matter. If he was, then it was a good thing that I left him alone and let him be the victim of his own fate. Since then, I have not heard anything from him, and the rest of the school year went back to normal. The reason that I decided to talk about this story is because verbal and physical fights do happen. That's the truth. In some cases, fights do escalate to where someone will wound up hurt or worse, which is all the more reason that I would like to share some knowledge with you all so that each of you can think with your mind and not with your fist. I have no problem with people standing their ground, as long as the reason for it is justified. That being said, here are some tips that may help you if you're ever caught in a similar situation. Don't be a bully because picking on someone who you think is weak is foolish. Also, it makes you look like a fool and a coward. Think carefully about the choices that are laid before you. Seek help if you are being harassed. Avoid bottling up your feelings and talk to someone that you can trust. Regardless of how you feel about someone, you must try to treat them with the utmost respect. However, there are times when it's okay to agree to and disagree. Do your best to resolve the issue before it escalates. And finally, it's okay to walk away from a situation before it escalates any further. In the words of Medea, it's not what they call you, it's what you answer to. Thank you, everyone, for listening and hearing my tips of how to handle a situation with bullies. If you'd like to hear more stories, talk about a similar situation that you had with a bully, give any additional advice to the ones that I have already mentioned, or if you just disagree with what I mentioned, you can let me know in the comments below. Let's have a conversation and see if we can help one another as the days go on. As always, you can follow me on all social media in the description section. And as always, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Everyone, be good to one another and stay golden. Peace.